There's more relationships than just relationship with your partner. Obviously, there's mother relationship, father relationship, sibling. What I want to find out is what level you're at right now. So let's see. So it's like 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, see, so you're at level 2. So the goal is to get to level 10.
There's a false notion in our society. I'll take care of you if you take care of me. But the truth is, if we actually take care of ourselves first, only then can we change our life, change our homes, change our cities, our relationships, and eventually change the world. For those of you who appreciate the holistic lifestyle, you've come to the right place. Your host, Emanuel Zavaios, is a certified emotion and body code practitioner and certified group energy facilitator. You are now listening to Healing the Healer podcast.
This show is brought to you by Heal, the social media platform for those who love the holistic lifestyle. Are you tired of sharing holistic tips and getting banned or going to Facebook jail for sharing the truth? Are you tired of all the Facebook political drama? Tired of people who don't support energy healing growth? My wife Jess and I created a social media platform that was meant for people who love social media, communicating with like-minded people, and love learning hacks from other wellness practitioners. It's free to join. www.haveempathyandlove.com. Plus, every week you have the option and choice to opt into a cutting-edge healing group where you get energy healing for 7 days straight. Again, it's free to join. www.haveempathyandlove.com. Hey everyone, this is Emanuel here, certified emotion code, body code practitioner, group energy facilitator. So grateful to be here with some amazing people. We have Blake Norton here, former U.S. Marine, and we're going to be doing a session, a body code session with a couple of different charts that I have, I think over 12 charts, just to kind of show you like what a session typically looks like. We're going to be looking into his symptoms that he's dealing with, and we're kind of excited to work with him. But also, I'm very, very privileged and honored to have my wife here, Jess Zavaios. You probably have seen her on the YouTube channel. She is a quantum living advocate for Solex, so she's all into biofeedback technology. And one of the things I want to share with you guys, we have a lot of practitioners, wellness practitioners who listen in. And maybe you're just a client. Maybe you're someone who loves holistic lifestyle. I think by far one of the greatest technologies right now that I feel everyone needs in their house is basically an AOScan from AOScan device. And my wife is a big proponent of it. She helps so many people on a global scale. And I wanted her to do something kind of special, do like an inner voice for my friend here, Blake. And I'm just excited to see what you have to show for us. Give us more information about how this, amazing device works.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here. And I'm so excited to be meeting with you, Blake. And today we're just going to do a quick scan, which is going to be an inner voice scan. So with this device, it is a biofeedback machine that can scan you from a long distance. It can send frequencies to anyone, anywhere in the world. And it also can just help with your emotions, help keep your emotions level at homeostasis while helping other parts of your body as well.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things from you guys about this, so it's very intriguing to me. I'm like, I gotta give this a shot. I was kind of worried though, like, being in the Marines, if it like measures my brain waves, you're not gonna find much. So I don't know what else you got in there, but yeah, I'm open to it, man. I really I've been interested in this a long time. Like I was in the Marines, I was in the infantry, did some other things for Uncle Sam, and just PTSD is just real, and
oh yeah,
whether you got a huge dose or a small dose, like anybody, a lot of vets, excuse me, a lot of veterans, they just are riddled with it. So if this can help me out, then I'm sure it could help any jarhead or any other uniform wearing son of a gun out there. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I've never seen, I've heard you talk about the AO scan, but like, this is it, right?
Yeah,
here.
this is it. And so it's a biofeedback technology, biofeedback device that you can do scans at home. So
can I touch this? Sorry.
Absolutely. Okay. Yep. That's it. That's
the
machine right there.
It looks like just a big cell phone, very hefty. So this is like an actual field grade, like military grade device.
Exactly. Yep.
What were you saying about it? It's like
Well, one of the things is that it used to be almost like a $30,000 huge device, and they used to only use them at certain what they call quantum wellness centers. So it was kind of like you had to go somewhere. Now they made it to this, I think, just over 2 years ago.
Yep. So now it's a mobile device that you can have at your house. You can do the scans on yourself. You don't have to be certified in any modality to be able to run this machine.
awesome. And it looks like a cell phone. So
Yep. And it's condensed
simple.
now to more of an affordable thing for everyone to have in their house.
Oh, okay. So you've like got my name up here and everything already.
Yep. I already created you a profile.
Oh, sweet.
And with this one, all it takes is a 10-second clip recording of you talking. So if you can just say your name at the beginning after you press the start button, and then you can talk about anything else for that 10 seconds. So you can say ABCs, you can count to 10.
Nice.
Talk about today.
Marines can't do either of those things, so I'll just come up with some stuff. So this basically just captures my voice. What's it measuring?
Okay, so it is going off of 12-note octave pitch and pattern. So
Frequencies.
Frequencies, it's going off your frequencies. But the coolest part is it is actually same software as a lie detector. So that's how accurate this is.
Okay.
And one thing to keep in mind is it's going to check for so many different things within your body. It can check for things that have been absorbed, inherited, energetic, physical as well. So a lot of things, majority of the time we find are things that have been absorbed or inherited from DNA passed down.
So like, I remember somebody talking about that because like almost everything in life is frequency, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so even your DNA
Right.
can carry that over. That's what's implied there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. Okay.
Yes. And so after we're done with it, you're going to have your very own customized harmonic frequency set. This is going to help with his session that he does. Sometimes clients will process for a few days. This kind of takes that time out. So you're not going to be, emotions won't be kind of, emotional or anything like that. And it kind of helps just keep your emotions level during that processing time.
I'll add something to that too. So one of the things that when you go through do a session is that you may have a tendency, there's a 20% chance you might get what they call an echo. And an echo is your body basically feeling the reverberation of something you just removed. A lot of the people who typically feel those are those of if you grew up in a home where your dad or your mother was like, hey, we don't cry around here, or you weren't kind of in a safe place to express your emotions. So what you did is you kind of hid it underneath the carpet. But then later on, when you do this healing, all of a sudden you're like, whoa, maybe the day or two later, you're feeling those emotions a little bit stronger. And you're like, I don't know why I feel so sad or why I'm so angry for no reason. But again, that's only a 20% chance per session. So 80% chance is you feel what you felt when I first did a session with you, which was calm, relaxed, you slept well, just less reactive. That's the more typical kind of processing, but there is that small little percentage where you might echo. So I tell clients that just in case they do echo, but what that does, and the reason why people love that is because it's almost like a Jessica in your pocket. It's almost like, you can't call me up and be like, hey, I'm processing. That one you can put on your headphones, listen to those binaural beat frequencies, and it emotionally stabilizes you within 12, 15 minutes of listening to it.
It's actually less time than that now. There's a 3-minute option that's
nice.
Just within 3 minutes. So within 3 minutes, it can help neutralize those emotions. And
That's like do that while you're brewing coffee or something,
Right.
Like, that's quick.
right.
Yeah, and I always recommend clients, when you wake up in the morning, it's the best way to start the day is to listen to your binaural beats. Right before you go to bed, if you want to sleep like a baby, listen to it as well. So we have a lot of clients who do sessions with me once a week, but they have their inner voice meditation. They listen to it on a daily basis, and it kind of speeds up their healing process as well.
Yeah, and I want to note that this is going to be 100% customized to you. So we don't want to have our kids or family members listen to these ones because these are going to be customized to your emotions and the physical areas of your body that may be affected at that time.
Cool. So I just pressed that top button that you showed me.
Yep, let's try it out.
All right. Okay. This is cool. I don't think anything happened, maybe. Oh, there we go. My name is Blake Norton. I like smooth jazz. I like whiskey. I like the mountains. I like my wife a lot. And that's it. 10 seconds.
Perfect. And then it's just going to finish scanning for about 35 seconds.
Oh, okay, cool. I don't want to break it. I'll just let it go.
Yep. And then,
So,
oh yeah.
I guess I'll describe what I'm seeing here. We'll put this on the screen later at some point, but it's just kind of showing some graphics there, loading screen, but it's like scanning my anatomy. Is that?
Yep. Off of your voice clip recording, it's now checking up to actually 8 to 10,000 different frequencies within your body. So scanning for your emotions, it can do close to like a $30,000 blood. Like if you went to the doctor and you're like, let's do a blood panel on every part of my body, it would cost you $30,000. But with this device, it'll scan it, and then it can also optimize you back to your homeostasis.
Just from hearing the frequencies in your voice.
Just from that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I believe it too. I mean, if I guess if anybody's listening that's new to these guys, Nikola Tesla is like amazing to study, and he's kind of suppressed. It's like suppressed science and suppressed history, I think. But he's all about the frequency,
Yep.
So the more
him and Albert Einstein, those guys were geniuses.
Yeah,
they knew what they were talking about.
And what's beautiful is that there's a thing out there, that people have probably heard of, called the perfect storm. When certain key people or key situations come together, and either their doctrine or them actual being a community to create something beautiful. See, I don't know if Albert Einstein, Nikola Tesla, and I believe Dr. Rife, was it Rife?
Royal Rife.
Royal Rife. If Royal Rife, Albert Einstein, and Nikola Tesla didn't exist, we don't know if this machine would actually come to pass. Like it's because these people kind of set the groundwork. This is the machine that it would be like if they made a baby together. I think it would be literally. I honestly say that
frequency baby.
It'd be a frequency baby. This would be the machine right here.
Okay, so we have your results now. And
did I pass?
You did pass, so that's good. And I'm going to send you this exact same thing, but you'll have a 3-minute, 5-minute, or 10-minute option to listen to your music. The frequency sound beats are incredible, and if you want to see what it's actually helping, we're going to click on the reports, and we'll go through a couple of them to see which emotions it's going to help with.
And this is uncensored. This is live.
This is live, yeah.
Yeah.
And it may show some vitamins. Do you take vitamins daily?
Not like I've taken some vitamin D before, but
just not
at the
consistently.
moment, not consistently.
Okay.
No vitamins.
So I'll see on here some things that it may be recommending that might be good for you to.
And here's something I want to add too, if it's okay. What's beautiful is that if you are someone who's really big into supplements and vitamins, you can actually program that into your machine. And it has a way of extracting the energy. And basically, anytime, if you were to do this again, it would actually tell you need more magnesium, more of this, not of this, like you took yesterday, this. So it's kind of like we think in our lives that we should take supplements all the time, every single day, or whatever. But there is such thing as nutrient toxicity. You take too much of something, it's not good for you. What I love about this is it tells you, like, today, after hearing your voice, after the scan, this is what you need this morning, right? I know you've done that before. I saw my wife kind of in the kitchen, just like had all her supplements out. I'm like, babe, like, how long are you going to be here? And she was there for a couple of minutes scanning them, and now you basically only follow that now,
exactly. Right? If it doesn't pop up on my daily recommendation, I don't take it. So it's saving money. And then your body you're not over supplementing your liver or different organs in your body. So
yeah, totally. And what's funny is I've been kind of like, I'm down on this carnivore diet now. This will be interesting because I'm down to like one meal a day, unless Mal convinces me to eat something tasty later. But yeah, it's like one meal a day, so I can have a huge ribeye steak with some cheeses and milk or whatever I'm feeling. The carnivore diet's amazing. I don't want to talk about that too much, but like it's awesome. So I just had a huge breakfast of like just basically a ribeye steak, and it was like an hour ago. So it was really low lunch. But I go like 12 to 18 hours between meals. So this will be interesting.
Okay, so we're going to go over a few things here. So one of the things that it is going to be helping with is helping have more self-confidence, more self-esteem. It'll help boost your self-esteem. So every time that you listen to it, if anyone's tried this device before, you used to have to listen to 4 songs 4 separate songs, but now they've condensed everything into just one song. So it's a faster version, quicker results. So within that one song, it's going to help everything here. So more self-acceptance. You're going to be having a stronger connection with your mom. It's going to help, which you might already have now, but it's just going to help amplify that as well.
Hi, Mom.
And another thing that's cool is it will actually recommend colored glasses. That these are light wave therapy glasses. They're medically graded. Each color does something different. So green specifically is going to help you have more joy, enthusiasm, creativity, success, balance, freedom, and help you to express yourself better too. So when you wear the glasses, listening to the music is going to give you all these things too, but glasses will just kind of help speed up that process.
Sweet.
And this will help you to have a spiritual balance. It will help with fear of something bad might happen. Do you ever worry about that, or have
All
you
the
worried
time.
before in your life? Okay.
Yeah, all the time. I just, you know what evil's out there, and you're like, it can happen to anybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is also going to help with, and these, so there's sub emotions in here too. So one of the sub emotions is, and this might not be you, it could be something you inherited. So you'll know, like, you'll be able to answer and say, this is more my mom or dad, or this is me, or it could be even absorbed from somebody close around you. So are you a perfectionism, or someone around you that you can think of that has tendencies of that?
Perfectionism. I think in certain criteria, I myself have that, but like a social perfectionism, I don't know if that's a thing, but that's definitely my dad, like your image.
Right.
People think of you, but like maybe Mal might, she's a little bit more of a perfectionist than me in some things.
Yeah. And that's a real thing, to absorb things from your wife, your kids, coworkers, even friends. Maybe one of your friends that you spend some time with is kind of a good, like, very perfectionism.
I think I just nailed it. It's my creativity is usually what's more, like, if I write a song or something, like on a guitar, just noodling around.
Yeah.
Like, I'm almost scared to finish it because I know I'm not going to like the end result. So I like kind of just leave it.
That makes sense.
That sounds like a perfectionist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's also going to help with nervous exhaustion. So if up late at night, working extra late hours is kind of affecting your nervous system, this is going to help balance that system out.
Yeah, that'll help. So I just recently quit my sales job to go all in here with Blueform.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Yeah, Mallory's been doing so awesome, but like, it's just time that we hit the gas.
You guys are busy. That's a good thing.
We're busy. It's going well. We got you guys back on board, like, just perfect timing. We're already considering it. And so, that nervous exhaustion is kind of a real thing. When you know that you're cutting out your parachute, you're burning the ships and you're going full in.
Yep.
Yeah, we're both a nervous wreck right now. We're like, striking out into the running your own business is always a little bit like that.
Yeah,
Sure.
and then in here too, it's also going to find potential causes. So, and I'm not going to list everything because it's quite a long list here of everything.
How long is the PDF? And this is what's so cool about this is that if she did this to you long distance, what you would do is you would send her a recording, and it could be via text, voice recording. She'll put her phone next to this phone, just like this, and she'll email you the notes. You can review it within like seconds of it being scanned. So it's kind of, you sent. Well, how long is the email? It's like what, like 11 pages?
This one comes with it's about 11 pages for this one.
Can you upload like an audio file into that, or does it have to hear with the speaker attached to it?
You would need to just like plug in headphones or something like that. But there may be an option in the future where you can put your own song connected to it as something that may be coming in the future.
Right. Like, so if I like recorded my voice on this microphone and you were like, in Europe or something,
I see what you're saying.
Could I send you that file?
Absolutely.
And then you could just download the file into that.
So that's kind of what he was saying. I have my cell phone here side by side, and I press the recording play.
Oh, you just press play. So if you have like a good speaker, you just press play, that will scan
this
from
will
the speaker.
Scan just right through there. Yeah. And that's what we do long distance. All of our clients are all over the world.
No one comes and records their voice at our office.
This is special treatment. We don't do a lot of
You're a little VIP right now.
In person, yeah.
VIP status.
So you're basically going, just to help my Marine Corps brain here, you're going through the results right now with me. And this
Exactly.
is what you normally do. Okay, cool.
Yep. So I get on a phone call or I send that client a video going over their results, letting them know which vitamins, like vitamin A and B, keep popping up. So those ones I'm just kind of glancing through here quickly. And C. B's, C, and A.
Cool.
Need a
now
little help.
I have an excuse to get some Flintstone vitamins.
Right? There you go.
Yeah, I'm happy.
And then your lowest one, I want to talk about this one. So this is the most suppressed one. This one, and for yours, it actually is suppressed emotions. So there's been some suppressed emotions. This is going to help you to be able to express yourself in a better way.
So I want to add to that too. If you're into the chakra system, those discs that emanate from our spine, I'd probably do a session on you and fix your throat chakra, which allows you to speak your truth more. And so if I fix it though, here's the Grace part. It may last for 2 days, right? 2 or 3 days, because some imbalance will happen where your throat chakra will, kind of be imbalanced again. But if you listen to this, I love what she does. Sometimes I learn so much from her. She'll listen to this last tone kind of on repeat, kind of like, what's the one that I'm suppressing the most? And so she'll listen to repeat, like she'll play it over and over and over again, so she heard the first tones, but she'll kind of hear the last one, right? And what that'll do is that kind of really bring it out, and what's interesting about this is that you're almost rebalancing your own throat chakra without me, because you have the meditation binaural beats. I don't know if we talked about that yet, but yeah. So by listening to it, it's almost like you're regulating yourself to express yourself more. And it goes beyond my session, which is just to fix your throat chakra, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So then you would send me the audio tones that I'm supposed to listen to.
Yeah. I will email it to you in like 5 minutes.
Oh,
You'll have a
sweet.
copy of it. You can listen to it as often as you want to. We recommend morning or right before bed is usually the best time to do it. But even throughout the day, let's say like this last one, it's also going to help with is anxiety, depression, and frustration. These may be yours, maybe they're absorbed, maybe they're inherited.
Oh, they're 100% mine. 100%.
So anytime you're feeling just frustration, this last song would be a really good one to listen to.
Can you play it for him?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, hold it up next to the mic.
Perfect.
We are live.
We're live.
We are live.
I'm just going to keep saying that over and over. We're live.
Play the songs of my depression, please. And my frustration. That'd be so cool if it was
there's that 3-minute option I kind of showed you. This is this individual, 4 different colors, 4 different songs.
Oh,
so
does that say the key?
Exactly. Yep. So this one is going to be that lowest one. We'll turn it up.
I just had an idea. If which one is this? What key is this in?
This one is D.
This already feels really good to my ears. So if I played music in the key of D, like if I went and strummed a guitar in the key of D,
it's good, except this one also has binaural beats in there.
The customized. Yeah, I think, you're onto something.
Yeah, you're onto something.
You're onto something for sure.
Oh, just go play your, those little recorders that kids play. Just go play a song.
D over and over.
Very similar to like if you listen to 432 hertz.
Right.
There's certain frequencies that
those are absolutely great for sure.
So before when I would talk to clients, I would say, hey, if you want to meditate with 432 hertz or 528 hertz or solfeggio frequencies, that was my go-to before I knew about this device. Then I was like, what would I rather give? Someone who made some music on YouTube, not specifically for a person, or something that's more customized to you and what you're feeling all the time. And so obviously this one trumped the first one.
Right.
I just was reading about that. Like there was like a conscious shift in like the official music world where they started shifting to, was it 433 hertz? Or was it 443 or something like that? But we should be listening to music. It was at 432.
Or 432, yeah. That's basically the
most harmonic.
Yeah, it's like they call it the God frequency. There's certain ones that are like really, like there's 999. I mean, if you just Google it, there's just if you visit Mr. Googs, you'll see like a ton of different. Everything is very different. Every frequency does. And I also challenge anybody, if you go on Google and someone used like a magnet / frequency generator thing. I don't know if you've seen that before, but someone would play the tone, just raise the volume of the tone, and it would make a certain pattern on a dish, like with sand, with sand. And then they would change it again, and then it would make a more complex design. I mean, it really shows that we're all frequency.
And like, not to get conspiracy theory here, but like, or get our tinfoil hats on, but like, there's a big conspiracy around like the music industry shifting to 433. I can't remember what it was.
And
yeah.
they technically
In a
use,
negative way.
like there's a thing called 808 beats, you know, and it's 808 beats is very low frequency, and rappers are very familiar with like giving kids 808 beats because it just lowers everyone's frequency. So yeah, there is a little agenda there for sure.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's the artist or if it's like the producers. It's probably like big
Both.
stuff, both.
Right.
But yeah, there's something to that. And then like all this frequency stuff, it ties into so many other conspiracies and like hidden technologies that Uncle Sam's got in their back pocket, like
Right.
you know, anti-gravity, levitation of items and stuff like that. And then when you see that frequency shake the sand into a certain pattern, that's kind of this on the same track.
To something
Right.
else.
Fascinating stuff.
Same with the snowflakes. Like if you put
Oh yeah, I heard
Right?
about that.
Yeah, if you
Snowflakes.
put a certain word on a bottle or some place where you're holding water and you flash freeze the water, you'll have certain crystals there. So I talked to the person who created this, and he said, aren't there bad frequencies out there that you know you send to people? And he said, yeah, there's frequencies that can just, you know, shut your liver off, you know, just kind of like if it's sent to a certain person. But he said these are frequencies that only assist you. And I'm like, yeah,
Absolutely.
we're part of the light side. We're not going to
Right.
do any of that
Exactly.
dark stuff. Yeah,
It's almost like Star Wars is real. You know,
oh my gosh,
yeah.
yes.
It's kind of weird, and like that's the other thing. The conspiracies I was bringing up is like a lot of those are like pointed. Some of them are even weaponized in propaganda campaigns and in all sorts of stuff. So
yeah,
not to get dark, but like torturing or interrogations.
yeah.
Yeah, they'll put a guy in a cell and just blast him with frequencies, usually in the form of a music or like something.
Yeah.
For, you know, days, 48, 72 hours, so they have no sense of time.
And so I think this we'll end the dark conspiracies here by just saying we'll just say this is that we'll just say this. I'm glad you brought it up though. Is that every tool that could be used for good can be used for bad.
Right.
And so and Satan wants it to go towards the bad, and us light workers want to do it for the good.
Agreed.
Yeah, and
That's
it all has to do with the person who created it. Where was their head at, and then who's the receiver, like what their intentions are. And if both of them are on the light side, then you have something really special.
Yep. Luckily for
Well said.
us, we do. Lauren Swenson is
That's
incredible.
awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So,
you could keep playing
Okay,
the tone, I guess.
just a couple more things here. So,
Sure.
speaking of the organs that he was mentioning, that the bad ones, these ones are going to help your good organs. So these are going to help your kidney, your liver. Let me zoom in here. Digestion, your nervous system, sinuses. Do you ever have sinus issues?
Mel's probably laughing right now. I
did.
You did laugh? I've been getting destroyed in my sinuses the last
Really?
2 to 3 months from all this, the pollen, all the allergies.
I don't see a sinus come up very often. That's why I was like, I just want to ask,
yeah.
how's your sinus?
It's been a big thing. I'm trying to open my airway more.
This will help.
Because breathing through your nose is like the best way to breathe, obviously.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't want to be a mouth breather. So,
No.
but yeah,
Right.
I've been so frustrated. Like just last week, I was like, I'm going to rip my nose off. Like I can't even breathe.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Awesome.
Awesome. This is cool.
Yeah. So just listen to your customized frequency harmonics.
Can you play that one?
Yeah,
again for just a
actually,
minute?
you know what you should do? Why don't we just give a preview of, before you take off? And I'm so grateful that you came here. You did such a great job in sharing. You're just radiating with light when you like talk about this, because this is it's so funny how, like, you know, before we came here, you know, and it is what it is. My wife adds so much value to people all over the world. And it's just beautiful for her to come on a podcast like this and like just even share like a smidgen of kind of what she does. But when she leaves this place, it's like she does this stuff 24/7, helping people out all over the country. So I'm grateful you had the time to come down here.
Yeah.
And I know you just added a lot of value to him. I know he appreciates it.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, if you can play like each frequency, it'd be kind of neat.
I'm gonna show the one that's the combined one for just
Sure.
a second here. So this is the one you can listen to it for 3 minutes. At first, you're gonna hear just frequency sounds, and then it's gonna turn on to the music. Let me turn this part down a little bit.
I'm thinking about Blake Harper right now because he makes sleep music on the side.
Can you hear it? Okay?
Yep.
So just kind of a calming beats.
And if you listen to it in the headphones, it's even better.
Yeah.
And because that's the way you're supposed to listen to it.
Right.
And so, but also, there's been people, men tough just like you, who Lauren has shared that they get sometimes emotional because it's like this is like tapping to their core,
Right.
and it's like they say these men never get emotional, but all of a sudden it just does something. So imagine like getting more in touch with your feelings, but also I think this world, the reason why we are, again, there's so many theories of why we're like this world is falling apart, but my thing is like reactivity is like the death of all of us, like us being too reactive,
Right.
you know. And what this does, the fact that we have a device that within 3 minutes can emotionally stabilize you during any part of your day. So if you're in a cubicle and you're stressed out, if you have 3 minutes, if you have to go to the bathroom, take your headphones with you and listen to it in the bathroom and come back a completely different person.
Right.
You'll serve humanity more if you do that, in my opinion.
I agree. I mean, I have it kind of in headphones already when you put it up to the mic.
Yeah.
It does. It just feels good.
Yep.
And now that I've like researched some of this stuff, like I've been way more aware of like my health and what I'm eating and what I'm putting into my body. And the next step that's been going on for the last 2 months is like, what kind of frequencies are we exposed to? And like, they're all around us. We're getting pummeled by them all day anyway.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi, 5G, all that stuff. There's a lot of truth to that. And like, so this is awesome. I'm going to listen to those. You can just send it to Blueform's email.
Perfect. I'll send it right now.
Yeah. Just blueformmedia@blueformmedia@gmail.com. But
Is there anything else you want to share with everyone? Maybe if someone's like, hey, I would love to do an inner voice with you, or I'd love to buy a machine like that. Because I really feel like one of the things I promised myself as a practitioner is that I'm going to equip myself with any tool that's going to assist someone. I even made a joke of it with a friend of mine I just met with earlier today. I said, if someone had rheumatoid arthritis and they told me to wear a squirrel suit for 12 hours straight and just like burn in this squirrel suit, I would actually do it just so that a person can get better from rheumatoid arthritis. Like that's the type of heart I have. But then some people aren't open to new tools, and I just mentioned the squirrel suit, so it's like, really, if you think about it, if you're a real healer, you should be having a crazy amount of tools around your belt. And if this doesn't work, then this will work. Because not every modality is for every person.
Right.
But using this though, for me, it's like if I do a session with somebody, it's like they're in this fog and it's like dark and it's like the forest. And it's like I came there and I was kind of this light for them, like almost like the sun came up, but the sun's going to go down and I'm not going to be there.
Right.
And I want to like leave them with a flashlight. For me, this device is like they have something where they can self-regulate themselves until they wait for the next session and continue to leave the fog.
yeah.
That's beautiful. I have to agree.
Metaphorically, that's kind of how I had to put it. So
Yeah. Well, Jess, thanks.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm
And thanks for
excited.
letting us do a demonstration on you.
Of course. Yeah.
how can they get a hold of you?
Email me at heal with Jess @gmail.com.
Sweet.
Awesome.
And we'll blast that all over these
Awesome.
clips and everything. But yeah, you should be on here more. I mean, I think that's the plan, right? Is you're going to be on. You guys have a great little energy together. So.
Thanks.
We, she makes you look good, so we definitely have to have you back here. And but yeah,
I'll
thank
do
you.
it. I'll come back.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming down, and stay tuned. If you're listening to this, we have even more treats for you because Blake and I are about to do a live session for you. I've never done this before on a podcast. I've done it before on Facebook, but I haven't done it on a podcast before. So I'm just gonna like help him out with some symptoms. So just hold on to your seats, and we'll be back in 2 seconds, and then we're gonna go ahead and do that session for you. So I'm gonna be using muscle testing. The camera might be seeing me here, but sometimes I've got to the point where after 8 years, I didn't need to use my fingers anymore. Sometimes my eyes will start moving to where it needs to go. So some of you guys may see me muscle testing at times, probably due to ages, if I want to find his age. But when I'm looking for something, it just all of a sudden something will stick out on the platform, and then I just move forward. So I'm using the body code here on my computer. I'm not just this isn't coming from my mind. This is just me using the body code system. But let's find out first. So he before we kind of came on here, he was talking about PTSD. He wants to open himself more to love. We talked about the heart wall. We talked about anger, and and you just brought up nightmares, which I think you still have them.
Yeah, from time to time.
From time to time. Okay, yeah. So what I do is when I connect with him, which I'm already connected, I'm going to ask, where do we need to go? So out of all these 5 subjects, what comes out more here? So it's interesting. There's the first one that comes up actually is open yourself more to love, right? So again, I didn't choose that. That's his higher self that chose that. And so you never know too. See, what's beautiful about this work is that I'm not really a great multitasker yet, but most men aren't the best multitaskers. Like I'll be on a cell phone, and if I'm not careful, I will leave 30 exits the wrong way because I'm talking to a friend, but the body is so amazing that it'll look at your list, your higher self, and will say, if I work on this, I'm actually working on 3 things at the same time, but I have to choose one for your logical human mind. So for example, open yourself more to love. Is it possible that might assist your anger? If you can feel people's love more, do you think that it might help out with anger?
Yeah.
See, so there's one thing. If you open yourself up to more love, maybe instead of getting a trigger from PTSD, maybe you'll feel someone's compassion so much for you that you'll be like, I feel safe around you. So you never know. So again, we're here. Now the question is what do I use? So I'm just going to ask, do we need to use the emotion code for this? It says no. Do we use the body code for this? It says no. Okay, so I can check, do we do inner child work? No. Is this like map of consciousness, which is Dr. David Hawkins? Do we need to go higher on the map of consciousness? This one also says no. So I'll just say, is this like a chart thing? Yes. Is it like the first folder? Yeah, this test's solid. So second folder says no. So now I have a list here, and I'm just going to say, is it something on the bottom end here? No. It's the top one. It is. So is it spiritual lesson? No. Is an aspect of consciousness? Bullseye. So there's a subject called aspect of consciousness, and what this is that a lot of people, when they think of the subconscious, they think about this one body, let's picture like USA, and let's say like your conscious brain is like Canada, it's like 2 separate bodies, but what's interesting is that actually the United States would work actually perfect for this metaphor, is that there's a bunch of states actually in the United States. So we have these aspects of our subconscious, and what it is that you've been traumatized in some aspect, in some state. And whenever some situation happens to you in your life, this version of you may come out. It's almost like takes the wheel, almost like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, like a version of you will come out and take the wheel, and you're not your true self anymore. It's this version of you because it's traumatized. We'll just be, oh, no, let me take the wheel. And it picks it up. And now you're not driving anymore. It's like that reactive person's out now. And it takes a while for that person to let go of the wheel. And then all of a sudden you come back. That's why typically whenever you become reactive, what's the first thing we do? No, I don't mean that. No, I'm sorry. I would never say that. I don't know why I said that. See, that's the reason. Now it makes more sense. If there's an aspect of you coming out, then technically it's not really you. And that's why you're kind of confused of why you would even say something, So anyway, that's what we're going to. Now, here's the interesting news is that there's the permanent list and there's the impermanent list. I don't know if you can kind of see that real quick. So the permanent list is kind of like, this is what we have actually in our body that like you can just make stronger. So all of us have these, and we just want to kind of remove enough trauma where it's just like brilliant and strong. Right? Now, these ones are the impermanent list. These are the ones that we can actually work on them. We get remove enough trauma and we actually get rid of it. So it doesn't show up. But these ones we don't get rid of. They'll always be with us. And we kind of just strengthen them. Make sense? So I'll just say, is it something in the permanent list? Yeah, see, it says no. Is it the impermanent list? It says yes. Is it the first page here? Yeah, see, for some reason it says no. So is it the second page? It says yes. Okay, so now I got to go in here, find out which one it is. Is it column B? No, column A. On 1, 3, 5. Okay, so what this is there we go. I found it right here. So it's I muscle tested relationship consciousness. Okay, so something's going on here in regards to there's been some trauma with relationship. Now, obviously, I know who he's married to, but there's that doesn't, in all relationships, for example, there's more relationships than just relationship with your partner. Obviously there's mother relationship, father relationship, sibling. What I want to find out is what level you're at right now. So let's see. So it's like 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah. See, so you're at level 2. So the goal is to get to level 10. And once we get you to level 10, then I'll remove this aspect of you. So whenever you're dealing with a relationship, this version of you doesn't show up. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Any questions so far?
No, this is good.
All right, so we're at level 2. Okay, so I'm going to see what comes up here. Okay, something post-traumatic. There's a physical emotional shock, like a little period of stress. Now, you can already know kind of ahead of time that this has to do with probably some relationship, right? Now, I don't know. I'm going to ask if there's anything below this shock here. It says no. Anything hidden? It says no. Okay, so it shows a guy with his mouth open, kind of freaked out, right? So there's 2 versions of this. Either one, something shocking happened to you that you're like, whoa, The second thing is it's like a period of stress for some reason. So it could be either 2 of those. Let me find out what age this is at. So you're 34 years young. Let me see, 34, 30, 20... 10, 12, 13, 14. It's around 13. So there's I think I already asked if there's anything below it. Yeah, it said no. Anything hidden? No. It's just by itself. It's a little period of stress. Is there any relationship that you can think of around 13 that maybe was kind of stressful? Was this home life? Was this school life? Is this like potential girlfriend? Was this a guy friend? Was this home life? Maybe some sibling stuff, or is this like parent stuff? What's the first thing that comes like a little period of stress around 13? First thought,
just home life.
Home life, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So do we need to know more about that? It says no. Is it home life? It is. So I'm going to remove this shock here. Okay. So do you release this one? We did. Okay. So 3, 4, 5. So now we're at level 4. You see how we kind of like moved it. So now I'm just going to say, what else can we do to kind of increase this? Okay, you also have an allergy here. Yeah, you have an idea allergy. So it shows
an idea allergy.
Yeah, it's an idea allergy. So what this is, it shows a guy with like a COVID mask over his mouth, and he's like he has a light bulb, and he's kind of going like this, the light bulb. It's an idea allergy. So what this is as soon as you touch this idea or think about this idea, it may rub you the wrong way. It's kind of like getting under your skin. It's like chewing tinfoil, kind of a little bit. So I'm going to find out real quick. There's like over 80 of these on here. So I'm just going to ask, which one is it? Is it column C? It says no. Column B? No. Column A? Column A? Odd. No, it's even. Okay, so it's even. Let me see what this is real quick. Yeah, it's lack of loyalty. Yeah, so lack of loyalty. Now, here's the fun part. Is I wonder if there's something below that though. Like, was there? Yeah, see, your bio said there is something below it. Let me see what's fueling this lack of loyalty here. And you'll probably know what this is all about in a second. Okay, there's something emotional. There's a compound. So what is a compound? A compound is when you feel 2 or 3 emotions at the same time. So I'm just going to say, for example, how many trapped emotions are in here? 1, 2. So there's 2 of them. So I'll get the 2 trapped emotions, and then I'll give you the age. Some memory, whatever pops up, just let me know. Let's see what this is. Yeah, there's a heartache. And kind of like bitterness, kind of like bitter about a situation. Okay. Is this recent? It says no. Okay, where does this come from? 34, 30, 20, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7. It's like 26. Okay, what's the first? So think about what's happening on 26. It could be 27, could be 25, but there's like some type of heartache happening around you about a situation, or kind of bitter, not happy about something, and probably has something to do with some relationship, whether it's familial or an actual partner. What's the first thought that comes to your head?
Oh, family for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was I was just recently divorced, and I was leaving my religion. Yeah. Because of the way I was treated. And
sure.
The way certain religion. If you're divorced in certain religions around Utah, we'll say.
Yeah.
You're kind of I was very much alienated with my family, and that's where a lot of bitterness
Okay.
came through.
So I'll just ask, does
Chip on
this
my
have to do with your family at all? Oh, yeah, definitely. So there's some heartache and bitterness there. So I'm going to remove this heartache and bitterness. If you see me, what I'm doing right now, we've been taught in the motion code, body code to use a magnet, but your fingers have also energy as well. And so and this in Korean acupuncture is somebody's head and this is their spine. So it's almost like I'm rubbing his spine with a magnet, but I'm just doing this. Did we release that one? And we did. Okay. So I don't think there's anything below that. Yeah, it says no. Okay, let me just remove this heartache and bitterness there. So lack of loyalty. See that goes back. That makes a lot of sense. Loyalty with your family. It's almost like a contingent loyalty. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll say, is there anything else that's contributing to this ideology of lack of loyalty? No. Is there anything hidden? Yeah, there's actually something hidden here. It's almost like you kind of like put it aside. Like there's something else here. So let me see what this is real quick. Okay, this is reverberation here. So you have an emotional reverberation. So it shows a picture like a bell. It's like kind of like when you have a very emotional event, it's like this bell is like ringing. And the event's gone now. So there's no bell there anymore, but there's still that leftover like whoa, 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 whoa. It's still in your body.
Yeah, like a resonance.
Yeah, resonance, yeah. So I'm trying to figure out real quick. By the way, like when I'm looking at you, I like want to make a shirt that says like "Real Men Heal." Okay, I'm just kind of throwing it out there. Someone trademarked that. Anyway, so let me see what comes up here. Yeah, so there's a discouragement here. Now, this could be a different time. Is this recent? It says no. 4/30/20. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's around the same time, 26. That makes sense. Emotionally discouraged around the same time, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Yeah, everybody say, let's remove this discouragement here. Anything else affecting this ideology of lack of loyalty? Yeah, good. Now it says no. Let's go over and remove this ideology of lack of loyalty. So whenever you think of like, is this person loyal to me or not? Your body just remains calm and very relaxed.
Could it be towards an ideal as well, rather than a person or a, like in this case, I think it's towards an entire group, a religion.
Sure. Yeah. So like, by the way, and that could be, it's any form of lack of loyalty from anything, So if you see lack of loyalty,
any form of betrayal.
Yeah. Any theme of that. Yeah. So now that we remove this, your body's like, if you think about that, you might think a lot more calm, more relaxed about that. It's like your body's holding on to it. It's trying to let it go, So if the idea ever pops up again, where you talk about past betrayal or past loyalty broken, you just might be like, whatever. You might be yawning because we're releasing something, by the way.
Yeah. This is what you said last time.
Yeah. So
I'm actually pretty chipper today. The fact that I'm like yawning right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's see. So let's see what level you're at right now. Let's see. So we got up to level 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So we're at level 8. So we're almost there. We're trying to get to level 10 here. Okay. Let's see what else comes up here. Energy. There's something mental here. Okay. So let's see what this is. Yeah. You have a will to. Yep. Shows a little guy. It's kind of funny. He's like standing on a ledge. It's like you're willing to do something. Try to see what this is real quick. Will to what? Yeah, there's like a will to escape. Yeah, you have a will to escape. Something below this? No. Is it more words than will to escape? Actually, it says no. Okay, where'd this come from? Let me see. 4:30. It's more recent. 4:30. 33, 132. It's 31. This is 3 years ago. Anything ring a bell that maybe you're kind of like, I don't know if I could be around this anymore. I need to kind of like get out of this situation. And it seems like there's some how do I say this? It has something to do with some relationship, kind of like, and maybe you like wanted to take a time out, or maybe you're like, this is kind of overwhelming. I don't know if I can do this. What's the first thing that pops in your head?
Yeah, well, you're like 1 year off.
Yeah. So it's like either 30 or 32.
30.
Yeah.
This was 30.
Yeah, 30.
So a year earlier, but 30 is actually pretty. 31, you said?
Yeah, 30, 31, 32, yeah, around there.
31 spot on with the relationship. That was when I was distancing myself from a certain family individual.
Okay.
And Mal can attest to that too, because I remember it was about 3 years. We just hit our 4-year mark. And so anyway, but the year prior when you said will to escape, like before I met Mal and stuff, like I was contemplating a lot of just suicidal kind of stuff, just in the darkness, you know?
Sure.
Anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So now I wonder which one it was. So there's a distancing of a person, right? And then there's also kind of like self-affliction, right? Kind of thing. So could it be both? Probably not, but could be. So I'll just say, is it both of those? Probably says no. Is it the kind of self-affliction thing? Yeah, this one says yes. Yeah, is this has to do with that, not that relationship? Says no. But watch this though. Like if you're self-afflicting yourself, is it possible that somewhere in your life you start noticing who's really loyal to you and who's not, you know? And maybe you're like, I thought this person would be here for me, or I thought this person would be here for me. Look, I'm thinking about taking my own life, right? So is that what it has to do with? See, sometimes intuitively as a practitioner, I have to just be like, I'm asking in my head, even before we're talking about it, like, what the heck is this about? And if I keep asking those questions, something will, like a picture will come in my head. And what I pictured was kind of feeling alone, and to the point where you feel like there's no loyalty when you felt so down. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me just go remove this will to escape here. And by the way, good news, this will to escape can cause depression. So the more we remove any will tos or no will tos, the less depression you'll feel. So 9, 10. Okay, so now we're at level 10. So I'm going to say these words real quick. I'll say, then I'll have you just kind of like take a deep breath and stuff here. So I'll say, I now multidimensionally unplug you from anywhere that you are still bound to this aspect of consciousness, which is called relationship consciousness, or anywhere that you had a hand in creating it. Cleanse, clear, and release all energies from outdated, non-beneficial timelines. You now shower yourself with love and forgiveness on yourself and any others who were involved. So it is. So here's the fun part is, do you have this relationship consciousness? See, your body's like, no, I don't have that. So take a deep breath there real quick. Okay, good. So I'm going to put removed relationship consciousness. So what's kind of cool about this is that any type of relationship that you have around you, it's almost like this version of you will go, hey, I'm here again. And you're just like, oh, I guess he has to take the wheel again. You know, so here we go. And supposedly because of this version of you, it didn't make you open yourself to love. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Can I ask you a question too?
Sure.
Like, I feel like a lot of veterans, they have a relationship unknowingly with the branch that they serve in.
Sure.
They have a relationship with the morals and ethos that the government and the what do you call it? The Declaration of Independence, all
what
that
it stands
stuff.
for.
Yeah. The Constitution, everything. And when I was, because you've already brought up 2 ages, when I was 26, 31, but 26 was the big one. That was when doing some work that I was associated with, didn't work for, but I was associated with working closely to some 3-letter agency types.
Sure.
And when you get to see under the curtain of the Wizard of Oz, and then my mind, I don't know, I start putting things together, maybe a little too gratuitously, but you start connecting the dots, you start seeing things, and that's a huge reason why I left my religion, caused issues with my family, and I also kind of left. I'd lost all confidence in my country, not the people in the country, not necessarily the institutions, but the people running them.
Sure.
The corruption levels. And this is just, I've never had this much clarity about this because I'm always, when you say relationship, we're thinking of an individual, but like that can be a huge thing for a vet, is that their relationship with an institution or an ideal around that institution can sometimes be shattered. And then like 3 years ago, I don't know, I've just been exposed to some corruption levels regarding human trafficking and other things. And I've kind of had to cut out my old ways of thinking.
Yep.
I feel like as a young Marine, I was gung-ho, about joining the cause and stuff, and come to find out that those causes are, a big lie.
Yeah.
Serving a corporate end or whatever end of corruption you want to sugarcoat it. That's a whole nother podcast. We could dive into all that. But that's kind of just dawned on me too. Like a lot of veterans, they have relationships with an ideal. And sometimes when they're betrayed or abandoned, like that betrayal could be from the VA,
Sure.
From also around 26, when you brought that up, that's when I was like leaving the Marine Corps as well. So it might not have been a full betrayal, but like leaving a pocket of loyalty.
Right.
I was cut off from the people that were most loyal, which were my fellow Marines, They had my back. They still got my back to this day. Shout out to a lot of them. But if you're watching this, but like, we've moved on, in life, and we don't see each other every day. We talk like once or twice a year,
Right.
And it's still there. But yeah, that was a huge, like, pulling all of that. I pulled out religion. I got out of the military.
Yep.
I got a divorce.
Yep.
I basically ripped myself out of my life. And so I felt a lot of betrayal, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. That this is why, again, like, the lack of loyalty came up, the relationship consciousness, because at the end of the day, what I try to do is I try to extract you can extract some good things from bad moments, I can very somewhat relate, probably 1/100th of what you went through, because I went to military school too. And I went to Army Navy Academy, and there were just some things that I wish, I was like, I don't know if I would make that decision as a principal, or I don't know if I'd make, that was my personal opinion. But what it stood for, it's like it groomed me. So I'm like, I could still be what the ideal is. And I just understand that people will be people, and it's sort of like I would hope that no one judges the people in the religion, because people are the worst example. It's like Muhammad Gandhi said, he says, I would love Christianity more if people were like Jesus, but they just aren't, which was the biggest punch to all Christians out there. But what he was trying to say is that, and I would tell people, don't judge the wounded and the sick in the hospital as they should. You're trying to picture them as the healed, but they're the brokenhearted and the wounded that are trying to get healed.
Yes.
And you're going to see them in different processes within that structure, and you can't judge them because they're broken.
Right.
So I think like your discernment's awesome, because it's like, if there's something that's corrupt, you're like, I'm out. But I also think like, it's really important to look at the whole picture of like, it's broken. Every institution we'll ever find will be broken men and broken women trying to live to an ideal that they'll never hit.
And that's the more realization I've come to. But that 26-year-old me,
exactly.
In order for me to discern that,
Yeah.
I had to sever all ties. I had
Sure.
to get some space.
Because it gives you clarity.
I needed clarity.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think too, I was talking on a podcast the other day with one of our other clients, Alex Cornwall, and I think religion is at fault for a lot of things, because they teach people that you need a mediator for your own spirituality, or to talk to God, or to source, or to Christ, or Allah, whatever you lean on. The religion says you have to go through us to get that. And I think that's where a lot of people, it's like you could use a religion as a stepping stone, but like what's I think is coming back in a lot of people's minds is that their personal relationship with God or a higher being is crucial.
Sure.
And that's why like religions are kind of going away in some people's minds. And I don't know necessarily think that's a good thing for society. I think it's good in some areas, but if a religion is telling you that you can only mediate, like that they are the mediator for your spirituality or for your relationship to God, you have to go through us first, I think that's a huge fallacy.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
The same thing with government. It's like, your ability to be a sovereign individual, you have to go through us first. Like we have to, check your taxes, and we have to, you have to wear a mask, or you have to get a vax, or you have to use our banking system and stuff like that. Like the more levels that they control of our direct connection to being a sovereign individual,
right,
the less power we actually have. And it's in religion, it's in government, it's like these institutions, whatever you want to call them, like, I understand that they're run by people, but like they're designed to like take away our flow of it, if that makes sense. I don't know if that.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think one thing that I kind of honor and appreciate is like the Jesus and the lepers. You know, the leper was healed by Jesus, which is like the leper is actually a representation of us. We're spiritual lepers.
Falling apart,
we're
broken,
decaying, falling.
decaying,
Yeah. But now Jesus did the healing, but Jesus still recognized the religious faith of that man and said, "Go tell the priest what happened." So it's interesting that he that would be kind of like Jesus healing one of us, and we're in the Catholic Church and saying, "Go to your priest and let them know that there was a healing made by me," so that means that he did respect their religion, but the direct miracle
he
came
cut
from
out
him.
the middleman.
He cut the middleman, but he still said, "Respect the man that's still at your church," though. You know, and so there is kind of a thin line where I would say, for example, that you know, when in regards to, you know, your sins and your relationship with God, it's like there should not be a mediator. And so that's, you know, you don't have to tell your sins to anybody.
There's still like a structure. There's still an order, a chain of command. Like there's still, if you're going to have an organization, those still have to be there in place because we are folly, because man is broken. But I think when Jesus said that, go tell your priest, I think there was a lesson in that sentence packaged for the priest.
Right. Sure.
Saying like, hey, look.
No, but he was that's actually the Mosaic law. Like he actually, that was Jewish law. If something were to happen to you, you're supposed to tell your priest. So he respected Jewish law.
Oh, okay,
and then also on top of that too, Jesus, he went to the Feast of Tabernacles. You know, he went to different things that Jewish people do because he respected the Jewish religion. You know?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, technically he was
a
Hebrew.
Jew. Yeah, but
he spoke Aramaic.
But I'm saying if he was so anti-religion, then he wouldn't have brought his turtle doves to the temple.
Oh, totally.
You know, so I always tell people it's kind of funny. It's like we can make fun of religion sometimes, but then they can't make fun of Jesus. But Jesus was a religious person, like himself. He actually had habitual things that the religion of Judaism gave to him, and he followed it strictly. So if you want to follow an enlightened being, he actually had a religious habits.
I think the religion is the binding that holds the handbook together.
Right.
It is not the presiding over.
Of course,
it's not over you.
Yeah, you don't want to. But that's the thing, is if we become too religious or overly dogmatic, that's what he was kind of worried about, is people were missing the mark.
Yeah, isn't it funny that he was born in a time where, like, when you say overzealous and dogmatic, like that was the state of the Pharisees, right?
Yeah,
the Hebrew.
Yeah, and it was
so
in
cool.
Isaiah, it said that he would grow as a dry root like a root from dry ground. Like there was no water. It was like they were dry from the gospel, and that's how he would grow out, like a very tender root from dry. That's an exact description. Tender root from dry ground.
That's right.
Yeah, but it's but again, he was the Messiah. He had to shake everything up a little bit.
I wonder if that's a sign too, inadvertently, of his. You know, if you're Christian, like I still am Christian, even though I left a certain religion.
Yeah.
And so I think if Christ comes again, if he came the first time and that was the state of the religion around that time, if there is another state, I wonder if that's an indicator where maybe there is a little bit of overzealous authoritarian kind of things. And I would say this to any Christian now: look at your Christian organization and see how they exercise authority and compare them to the Pharisees.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Or to the leaders that were with Christ that scorned him, that looked for every chance to like dismantle him or kill his momentum, you know, or discredit him is the word I'm looking for. So I'm wondering if there, I see a lot of parallels with almost every Christian religion that has those leaders like that. But yeah, that's fascinating.
It is fascinating, and
kind of a tangent. I apologize.
No, it's okay. But it all started from, again, we were talking about relationship consciousness here. Let me do one more thing for you here, because I know we're gonna end our session here. One powerful thing you can also do is this thing called higher self healing. And I usually leave this on the list of like, what does your higher self want to remove right now, just to give you more peace of mind, body, and spirit.
Oh yeah.
You know, and so if I just say, is this emotion code or is this body code? Yeah. So this one just says straight, go into the body code. So I'm just going to see what your body wants to work on here. Okay. There's something offensive here. Yeah. There's a curse here. Okay, so there's now curse is it sounds really bad, like so you picture someone with like a voodoo thing, but really it's just your subconscious sends these. If you're envious or jealous of someone, you'll be surprised you might have sent a curse to prevent them from being happy. You have to be very careful. But people do this also unintentionally to you as well. Mm-hmm. So if I say, for example, is this to create a physical symptom? No. Is this to interfere with your growth, success, or happiness? No. Is this to keep you away from something? Yes. Is this knowledge? No. Is this personal power? No. Is this divine connection? Bullseye. So this is interesting. So usually, typically when this happens, it's usually not a female or a male that gave this to you, but usually it's an entity that gave it to you. And so they're trying to so if it's been kind of tough, if you're like, hey, I'm going to go, read some scriptures, or hey, I'm going to go pray, like if there's some block or some resistance, you're just like, oh, what is that? It could be this guy, and if I can even tell you where it came from real quick, let me see what age this is at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So this is like 27-ish, Yeah. So 27. So this entity was like looking at you. They're like, what can I do to make his life harder? It's like all affect his divine connection that he has. And they'll leave that curse on you. I'm going to go and remove this curse here real quick. Do you have this curse anymore? Yeah, your body says no. So here's my challenge to you. If you go later on today or tomorrow, do a meditation, a prayer to God, scripture reading, whatever, you might be like, wow, it's like, I don't know, I feel different while I'm reading now. Like I'm getting more of it, Because is it possible that you can read the scriptures and like not feel anything and whatever? Yeah, of course.
But fathom a thing you read. Yeah.
But basically, if you reset your crown chakra, if you're prayerful, I was always taught like ask for the Holy Ghost to testify of things before you read. It's way more powerful when you do that instead of just going like I'm just going to open up a book. So I just say, if the Holy Ghost can just impress my mind while I read, what do I need to read? And you could even open up the scriptures as an oracle. You can say like, what page do I need to read? And just close it and say, for some reason I'm pulled to the left one. What's over here? Just read it. Some paragraph will resonate with you that you like need to read. And you just kind of like, and this curse by removing it will assist you to not only capture it fully, but to feel something fully. And then you can take that and use it in life, So, let's end our session there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and reset all your chakras here. I'm going to program your body to process easily, peacefully, and effectively. Also, I say this too for practitioners out there. I say, I fold all old timelines I've cleared from, place yourself on a new higher timeline and restore your light essence back to you. And then I'll just disconnect. And if you want to take a deep breath there, how are you feeling over there? Just checking up on you real quick.
Dude, like immense mental clarity.
Yeah.
I feel like me and Mal got about 1,000 things on our plate. And when I started this, I probably knew about 999 of them. And now I don't remember them. Like I got to go look at my notes and my whiteboard. And, I feel really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's, you're really good at this. You can tell you've been doing this for how long? 8?
I think 8 years.
8 years. Yeah. And also I think you have a gift of just being good with people, I think too. And, I can definitely see how some people, if you're not open to this, it kind of feels a little snake oily at first. But just so just so the record's clear, like Emanuel and I are just friends and we, work together on these podcasts and content creations, but like, we've had 0 conversations about any of the topics you brought up today.
Yeah.
Like I have not once preemptively discussed this with you.
Nope.
I just gave you some general topics, anger, all that stuff that you mentioned, and that's it. And that's what keeps me coming back to emotion code and body code.
Yep.
And if you're familiar with Nikola Tesla, if you're familiar with frequency, a lot of veterans are extremely, extremely intelligent and intuitive people.
Yeah.
And they're driven by high ideals like I was. And we always joke about Marines being dumb, but like I know some extremely high, like emotional intelligence and all sorts of just IQ. I knew guys that were like legitimate geniuses, maxed out their SAT, SA, whatever those tests are.
Yeah.
And they're in the infantry sitting in a hole with a machine gun because they have a strong belief in a moral obligation or whatever.
Right.
And yeah, it's really insightful. Like 26 years old, I was divorcing a lot of things. Like I was divorcing a wife, but I was divorcing myself from a lot of ideas and moral obligations to these institutions and things. And I have reassembled it since then, but I had to. Yeah, you're spot on the head, man. And that's why I keep coming back.
Yeah, well, I'm glad. First of all, they say that the your mind is like a parachute. It works best when it's open, and so
that's the only way it works, actually.
So the reality is, I'll say this one last thing because I'm kind of late to a session, but the last thing I'll say is that in order for this world to get to the next level, it's going to have to be men who brought it to this level where it's at. And I did a 6-hour meditation once, and it was the most beautiful thing that I ever saw. I saw something that I can't even describe, but I basically called all men to me in this meditation, and I was removing something from their eyes, scales from their eyes. And I was talking to them, like I said, I know that it's hard to talk about your father not being there. And it's hard for you to talk about how you've been alienated. It's hard for you to talk about the last divorce. But I'm something you've never seen before, which is I don't judge you, and I will never judge you, and you're safe with me. And I was just, people in this meditation would just go down, and I would just like clean their eyes, and then I'd wait for the next person. And what it told me was this, is that we're the ones that made this world decline. Men did this. And it'll be us for us to bring it back. And we have to get in touch with our feelings. Mm-hmm. We have to come back to our creator. We have to reverse the effect we just did right now. We praise too much the egotistical man. We praise the man who's overly rich. We praise the man who is narcissistic. We've given them so much line that now we've lost our footage on what Mother Earth really wants, and we have to pull the line back and say that's not the man that we praise.
Can I add to that real
Sure.
quick? You said that earlier today, and I've heard you say that. You said it in a different way earlier, but you said like a manly man heals, right?
Yeah.
And I agree with that. A lot of people think a manly man, like stoicism doesn't mean you don't feel emotions, right? And like avoiding certain emotions is definitely not a path to control an emotion.
Yeah.
In order to control your emotions, you have to feel the depth of it.
Right.
And open yourself to it. And you don't, the world has gotten weak because men have bottled their emotions and then acted on those emotions. No man should ever act upon his emotions. He should control his emotions. And so I think that's symbolic of you peeling the scale. They're opening their eyes. They're opening themselves to an emotion. It's okay to talk about it, feel about it. Just depending on the emotion. Don't act on that emotion. Don't act not stoic. So men, you can still be stoic. You can still be tough. You can still be strong. And you can talk about emotions and actually learn to control them rather than hide from them, stuff them under the rug. Let them burn holes in you in your life. And burn holes in the relationships around you. Like I've done that, and it's time to let that go. Mm-hmm. It's time to do it. It's time to let it all go. And you're not less of a man. You're not less stoic. I'm not any less tough than I was before I started this session.
Right.
I learned those things in my youth, and it's time to shed those beliefs, and actually get control.
Yeah, and I'll say this last thing is that in the Bible, in Genesis, Satan, did his thing with Adam and Eve, but I think that's why I saw scales in people's eyes. It was almost like a reptilian scale that I was kind of moving from their eyes, because what they followed someone who kind of would have accepted everything in the desert that Jesus declined. I want the bread, I want the power, I want the kingdom. And I will take those things even though it costs my soul. And similar to Cain and Abel, Cain's, I will take my brother's life. I will make a pit for my brother as long as I get rich doing it. And we live in that world, and the only way to reverse it is men have to heal. And we have to remove the scales from our eyes, which is actually the effect of following someone that actually wants our soul to die, which is Satan. And We didn't mean to get so preachy here, but I just had to share that.
That's awesome.
So anyway, so grateful for you being here, Blake. And then and I'm glad we're gonna do this. And let me know, keep me updated on how you're feeling. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you haven't joined Heal yet, join haveempathyandlove.com. I'm doing group healings actually this week. I'm going to be working on PTSD, depression, anxiety, or I might be working on physical symptoms. I think I'm going to be working on those the next 2 weeks. So if you do happen to hear this podcast, just know I'm doing group healings there on haveempathyandlove.com. Thanks guys for tuning in, and I look forward to doing another podcast soon. Take care.